to the Crash Content Podcast, where we review all your favorite shows and movies, in which case we are doing Star Wars versus Ava.
Hell yeah.
Today we have
a bunch of people. We're not going to get into it. Let's debate
Never mind.
which show's better.
Well, okay, wait. I want to say the idea that kicked off this topic was that Evangelion is the Star Wars of Japan. I don't know if that was something one of us came up with or something that somebody pulled from somewhere else, but so that's one point of contention. Is Evangelion the Star Wars of Japan? And the other thing is comparing and contrasting the two as like Star Wars being more of a hero's journey and Ava being like more of a convoluted emotional existential thing with not as much black and white, good versus evil. So I guess we can start with the is Ava the Star Wars of Japan thing.
Before you talk about that debate, let me just state the fact that, and I also want to start with the pretense for our viewers. I know nothing about Ava, and I will have nothing to say about Ava except this one thing, which also has nothing to do with Ava, so never mind. Star Wars, in contrast with Ava, is an international series that is beloved by all countries of all nationalities all over the world, where Ava is only like a cult following for people like us.
For weebs.
Unless you're
so
in Japan.
really, Star Wars.
Unless you're in Japan, it's kind of it's kind of like
Wait, did you
generally people know about it.
We're in it. Are you? Oh, okay.
Yes,
Hello,
this is
everyone. Evangelion is good. We all agree that's better, right?
He did it. He won. Episode's over.
All I'm saying is Star Wars
He struck
is the Star
first.
Wars of everywhere.
Star Wars is the Star Wars of Star Wars, yes. But the
Yes.
question still stands, is Ava the Star Wars of Japan? Because in Japan, you still have all this Ava merch. It's like a really big sci-fi fighting robots cash grab series. Not just a cash grab, but they're definitely doing that. There's like all sorts of merch, similar to Star Wars. All sorts of merch.
They've rebooted it.
Disney cash grab.
They had sequels.
The reboots are the Disney cash grab of Ava.
Listen,
If you don't already agree that Ava's better, one, you're wrong, and I literally have no consideration for your opinion. But I'm sure. I just so happen to have a few images in my camera roll at the moment that would more than certainly change your mind.
I see.
Here they come. Here comes the demonetization. Brace yourself.
Oh boy, I just can't wait.
Well, I'm
But no,
not.
I think I absolutely agree with Alex, especially as far as like merchandising goes. Because I remember working in the convenience store and getting like Darth Vader and Chewbacca mugs as like Christmas coffee sets and stuff like that, or Pez dispensers or whatever. Like merchandise, sell that merchandise. That is absolutely like the core function of Star Wars at this point, and I think you could very much so make a case for.
It's probably it's almost certainly like bigger, but it's more like is it kind of we're like as far as like comparing the two. I feel like in Japan is Ava kind of similar to where there is like I know there's like random like cup ramen and shit I've seen.
Made a video talking about how you could just live your entire life off of fucking Evangelion merchandise.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
The Ava apartment. There's an Ava apartment.
So yeah, I guess it's very comparable then, so it makes sense.
Yeah, just like completely devoid of the context of the series, just their use as marketing devices in their respective countries. I think absolutely is a good point, and kind of like you said, we'll kick the whole thing off of Ava versus Star Wars. Are they very that much so related?
That's not the right
really,
thing.
but they absolutely
Star Wars
have a place in their like pop culture. I think they have a very similar position.
Okay, so question. Are the rebuilds the equivalent of the Disney Star Wars cash grab?
Oh, I thought you were going to say
I think for sure.
Yeah,
Besides
Seems that way to me.
Besides the fact that Hideaki Anno is actually working on the rebuilds and George Lucas is not, like everything else is like kind of similar in that. Like if you look at quotations of why they were like doing this new Star Wars series and why they're doing the Ava series, they say stuff like, well, you know, we haven't told the story in a long time. We really want to include the newer generation of of viewers for this.
We want the
iconic
Zoomers' money.
series.
Zoomer money. Zoomer money.
Money, 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 money.
To be fair, I feel like, hey, he's back. I absolutely think that the first Ava rebuild movie is pretty much the same as the show, just like how Star Wars Episode 7 is pretty much just the same as Star Wars Episode 4. So, and then the prequel, or I mean the sequel trilogy as it's gone on has kind of gone off the rails, just like the Ava rebuild. So I feel like both franchises are on similar trajectories right now of just kind of turning weird.
Here's
Yeah.
the difference.
Sounds about right.
In
Yeah.
Star Wars, you get a bunch of like old men. They're greasy and ugly, and they whatever. They're in ships, and they who cares? Evangelion, dude. Hot girls, giant robots. The best thing that Star Wars has to offer. There's like a couple cool like robots. Like I just watched A New Hope, and there was like that one guy. He was like a gray C-3PO, but he looked like an alien. Super. I don't even think this character has any plot or anything. I don't know, but he's fucking cool. There's a couple cool designs. I like the special effects. Well, I guess I don't know what the not like the CGI, but like there's at one point where like somebody like shocks R2D2, and there's a bunch of like fucking cool like blue laser beam like
The lightning effects.
That stood out to me as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those kind of special effects. Like that kind of stuff is like
That's
like,
back in the day when they just drew on the film.
yeah, that stuff looks incredible to me. Like one of my favorite movies is Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah on 1991, and that movie is like full of that shit. And like the laser beams and the lightsabers are a little weird looking in the first movie, but Evangelion is Japanese anime, so it's better.
If you say otherwise, you're racist.
Also,
I mean,
correct.
you could argue that some Star Wars shows are also Japanese anime because
But I don't
maybe they were made
care,
in Japan.
I mean,
Wait. Which ones were made in Japan?
I know I'm just like making a hypothetical. Like on that, I don't actually know.
I know there's been some Star Wars like animated shorts over the years, and odds are they've been translated to Japanese at some point, so that would technically make them Japanese language anime that exists that is Star Wars.
well, no.
Well, of course, this kind of stuff exists. Star Wars is just so big; it's going.
Star Wars is in Japanese. It doesn't make it Japanese.
Well,
Yeah.
I was saying that maybe they had work done on some of the animated shows in Japan because
Yeah.
they have people in other countries do some of the animation work. So maybe they did that in Japan. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm just conjecturing maybe that's a possibility.
Guys,
we got him on the
anime is a
technicality.
Japanese colloquialism. So, Clone Wars or whatever, the animated one, literally is anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done. We did it, gang.
Uh,
Star Wars is anime. Confirmed.
confirmed. Anyway, I think the main difference between the two, like franchises in general, is that sure Ava, the anime series, is a better story and better work than like the first like 6 movies or 9 movies even of the Star Wars. But like the expanded universe of Star Wars, like the universe of Star Wars is much easier to make like side works and like interesting stories within the same universe. So as a franchise, I think it has a little bit of an edge
Think
over
about the
Ava.
collection of the anime girls.
He's
I'm
stuck on this
serious.
point.
Oh, I just found out. I literally just looked it up. Apparently, on December 10th, 2020, there is a Star Wars anime confirmed, and it's going to be an anthology, 10 short films. It's called Star Wars Visions.
Cool.
Remakes of the original series or like its own new thing?
It's like an anthology series. I don't know if it's new, old, or rehashed, but it's Star Wars.
Sure.
But yeah, I agree. Star Wars has more potential for side stories because they didn't just like end the main series by just ending the world and killing everyone.
Well, I mean, you
Yeah.
talk
There's
about
not much-
Nojins, there's a lot of side stories.
There's not much you can do
Why?
from that.
That's not even like I don't consider that like a like that's fine if that's what you're looking for, but like I don't need Ava side stories.
Well,
That's fair.
It's like
I mean, yeah,
complete compact experience.
Ava itself is a complete work, but as a franchise, if we're arguing franchise v franchise, Star Wars has
So
like
is this just like nebula? Does anyone like? Okay, so I get we're just like talking about the thing. I want to make the point that Star Wars sucks and Evangelion is fucking sick.
This from someone who's seen 2 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Only
Does anyone
two.
else like have a side, or are we? Or is everyone like just kind of neutral and just?
I don't
like
care.
Star
They're too
Wars.
different.
They're too.
I
they're-
like both the series. I probably like
Yeah.
Ava a little bit better, but I actually really like both. So it's yeah.
Like, Ava's pretty good. I like Star Wars. Star Wars isn't good, but I like it. So,
But Ava's good.
I mean, I love KOTOR and Clone Wars and Star Wars films. So yeah,
like, let's be real. There's some really dumb
pretty
stuff
sick.
in the prequels, and a lot
Yeah.
of dumb stuff in the sequels.
Okay,
But-
wait. Let's
it
settle
also
one
has
thing right now. Prequels
general
versus
reasons.
sequels.
Oh, prequels all the
Prequel
way.
gang.
oh,
Prequel gang.
Prequels.
Yes.
Versus-
Wait, I like
J-
the
Yeah.
first 3, like the original.
original.
Okay, the
Those are
classics.
sequels.
Yeah, those are undisputed. Like, everyone loves those, even if you have anything bad to say. Like, those are unanimous. Like, everyone loves those, but people will always be tongue in cheek about the prequels and the sequels.
Well, I haven't seen enough of the sequels to know, but I only saw one of the sequels. But I liked the prequels
No,
better
the
than
sequels.
the one sequel.
Sequels is episodes 4, 5, and 6, right? Sequels is the old.
No,
ones.
sequels is the
No.
brand new stuff. 7, 8,
Yeah.
9.
Yeah,
What do we
when-
call the? What are episode 4, 5, and 6 called?
The
Those
original.
are
Original
like
trilogy.
the original trilogy.
Oh, well, I was thinking prequels versus originals. Then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
let's revisit
that's
that.
like everybody already likes the originals. That's like 90%.
No,
of
I like
everybody.
the prequels.
I
Okay.
have to agree with Alex. I like the prequels exclusively for nostalgic reasons and not from like a critical standpoint, because those
fair.
movies are kind of dumb.
I mean,
But I
when I
love
was like
them.
Gang.
I love
like a
them.
small child, I liked the prequels more probably because I was a fucking dumb kid.
But when was
But-
the last time any of you watched the prequels?
When I was a kid,
months
I
I
ago.
watched
liked
them like a couple of years
I,
ago.
I liked the
I
old ones
rewatched
more
them all.
even when I was like a little kid.
I marathoned 1
Okay.
through 6 back like last fall.
Although I
That's a
really
good point.
liked
I haven't
Revenge
seen
of the
them forever.
Sith. Like I liked the third of the prequels. Like the first 2 not so much, but I remember I did really like Revenge of the Sith a lot. Like that
Yeah,
one.
That
that
is
one's pretty
was-
popular.
that one's actually legit pretty good. I will raise the point that Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best character in either of these franchises, for sure.
True. I like
So-
the world building
Wait,
of the prequels.
Wait, like
yeah.
just in general as a character, or like a specific Obi-Wan?
No, the both of them, I'd say.
What about Asuka though?
Oscar though, bro.
I don't know.
Asuka.
Asuka versus Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's the new competition. Who's better? Obi-Wan.
Who would win in a fight? Oscar.
Who wins? Asuka versus Obi-Wan.
Ava versus a dude with a lightsaber.
Yeah, but to be fair, he is like the general of the clone army. So does he get
Dude.
his clone troops?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Dude,
pretty sure like a
imagine-
single Ava would like destroy like most of the Star
Everything
Wars
in Star Wars because of like the AT field is just
Yeah, the
broken
AT
and beats
fields.
everything.
But
Okay, how-
dude,
how about
imagine
this,
getting
the,
stepped on by Asuka piloting an Ava. Oh,
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I'd fucking die. Oh man, yeah.
Oh, I would die, dude.
But you can't even see like inside the plug though.
Dude,
Yeah, but
I
he
would know.
knows. You just know.
Okay, wait, but on the subject of the world building and the like Star Wars being more open for side stories and stuff, it's interesting to me that Star Wars has like this is one way that they're kind of opposite because Ava is really like esoteric and they don't explain a lot of what happens. Like you
And
the
that's
stuff
why
that
it's sick.
Yeah, it's like open to interpretation, and it's sort of esoteric and confusing in that way, and that can be appealing to sort of like read into it and try to interpret things. Star Wars takes kind of the opposite approach, where there's like, you know, a really extended lore. There's a lot of different stuff in there, but it's all explained. I think when I was a kid, I had like a fucking encyclopedia book thing, like explaining all the shit in Star Wars and how it all works and all the stuff that happened.
Yeah, like the 11 movies cover maybe 1% of the material.
I mean, if you talk about the super extended like novels
See,
and shit, yeah.
That's the problem. Is Star Wars is for normies. Evangelion is for me, and anyone else. Nobody they don't get it. If you don't like Evangelion, you don't understand Evangelion.
I
If you want to
am
be
Hideaki
spoon-fed,
Anno.
go watch a Western film.
I would love to be spoon-fed, and I didn't
But-
get Evangelion the first time I finished watching it.
Dude,
I
if
was like,
Asuka's
what
holding
is
the
going
spoon.
on? Here comes
No, in
here comes the
actuality-
airplane.
In actuality, though, it is really interesting to me that like Evangelion is so popular because I do feel like I personally, I think all of us can relate to both Star Wars and Evangelion on some basic level. I think a lot of people probably could. I personally like Evangelion is Neon Genesis Evangelion, the original series, and End of Evangelion. That's like my favorite anime of all time, and I don't think that will ever be topped for me. Like the experience of watching that and relating to it in the ways that I do. Like I hyper specifically connect to Ava in a way that I'm sure you could.
But I
with
think
Star
a lot
Wars.
of people, I think most people do, and it's like maybe it's
I
like
really
a misnomer to think that it's like unique, and maybe it's just generally relatable. And
I mean,
and that,
if you
that's why it's good.
if you
and it's like
spiraled
and it's like and
into
it's like
depression,
and it's the
No, but the
idea
thing-
of like,
I-
oh, I'm
no, but-
special and I relate to it when everybody, like most people do. Maybe that's what's going on, and that's
I
why
really
it's
don't think
popular.
that's the case though. Like I just like there was a conversation like somebody in a Discord earlier that I was like browsing through had just watched Evangelion and they were like, yeah, it's all right. Like it's like it's like a super controversial show like within anime. Like there are people like me who are like, yeah, it's the best fucking show that could possibly exist. And then there's other people that are just like, yeah, it was all right or whatever. Like I think
People are like that with Star Wars too, right?
yeah.
So what's the difference?
I don't know. I just don't think to me. Yeah, okay. I haven't actually delved into Star Wars as
Well,
much
I
as
think
I have.
I think Star Wars fans, like really big Star Wars fans, are like, I need a better word for autistic, but we all know what autistic means in this context. They're like they
They're
they
otaku.
love knowing everything and like
Yeah, they're
combing through the lore
otaku,
and all
right?
this.
They just like
Whereas-
want to know everything about it.
Whereas with Ava, it is more of a, you know, do you relate to it in some
Yeah.
intangible way seems to be the more common reason why
Well-
people love it. So I think the most common reasons why people love each one seem to me to be different.
So
Yeah,
I guess it's
I
just
agree.
like Ava has more emotional depth, whereas
That's
Star
kind of
Wars
my
is just
point.
full of like
That-
trivia and like technical
Just
stuff
stuff.
you could go
There's all
into.
kinds of
Just
things.
stuff. It's
I
just a
guess if-
bottomless well of content.
Well, there
I
is
get-
stuff, but like also. Oh, sorry. I don't want to cut you off, Brian.
Well, okay. I just sorry. All I want to say is like to me that is what makes Evangelion. Like I don't feel like you. Like for me personally, it's like there is just more like it's like a more serious connection to have that like true like emotional bond with Evangelion versus like having just like the wanting to know about the world and its details because that's not like an I mean I guess to some people that is like an emotional connection. I don't know. It's whatever. It's
I think
definitely
there is one thing they have in common, I would assume, which is like they're both just cool sci-fi spectacles, like the giant robots and the spaceships. And that's probably like, regardless of whether or not you like them for any other reason, the sort of lowest common denominator appeal that's accessible to anyone who just
Yeah.
likes sci-fi action. They both have that, and I think that probably plays a big role in why they're both
They're
as
both
successful as they are.
they're
And
both
they were both
considered, like
influential, right? They were both some of
Yeah.
the first ones
Yeah.
to do that.
And I think also this is my I don't want to like cut anyone else off.
No, go for it.
I'll hold my peace after this for a little bit. But I think with the rebuilds as well, and also the Disney movies, I think those are sort of comparable because both of them are like literally exist. I mean, also the prequels were like this, I'm sure. They literally exist to sell merchandise. Whereas like I think the original series of each franchise was like more definitely in the case of Evangelion is like more about the emotion, more about the story and like the connection. Whereas like the rebuilds are actually closer to Star Wars, where it's more about like we were talking about yesterday, how like in Evangelion 3.0, like the end of Evangelion is much more straightforward, and like there's a story told there. Whereas like I feel like with like every because it's so like minimalist in its like storytelling, there's a bunch of weird shit going on, but most of it doesn't matter. All you need to know is that the fucking world dies, and Shinji and Asuka are the only ones left, and all that they can do, Shinji in particular, all he can do is just think about how, like, this is all his fault, and that's the whole point. It's like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's like these weird like angels, and there's all this like weird fucking like birds that kill themselves, and then there's like the Lance of Longonius or whatever, and there's all this bullshit, but none of that matters. That's just like there, and it looks cool, but it doesn't really matter.
What matters is the characters at the end of the day for Ava.
Yeah. And then with the rebuilds, like with the new EOE, Ava 3.0, we're recording this before 3.0 plus 1.0 comes out, by the way. But like with that, I feel like they really tried to go like into the lore of everything, which to me, it's cool to have that alternative world where we can like look at Evangelion in that way. But it's like, that was never the point of it to me. And I feel like because there's so much extra shit going on, it's like, oh yeah, they had like Nerve, like most of all of Nerve like split off, so like become like the new thing where they're like fighting the Evangelions, and then there's all this shit going on, and there's all like sorts of fucking shit, and Misato is like a cyber captain now, and it's like, that's all fun and cool, but it's almost, because there is more, it means less. That's how I view it.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not.
Wait, dude, what is that? Dude, wait, what is that? Is that from original Ava? What is that?
We're looking at a picture of Ray working at Burger King. If you're audio,
Is that an ad?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. I'm just on Google
Probably
Images,
an
and I'm
ad.
just finding random ass pictures of Ava.
Probably
and,
an ad.
Yeah, I guess probably.
All right, somebody's Star Wars gang. Somebody throw down some defensive Star Wars. Somebody gas Star Wars up. If you dare.
Star Wars, like as a franchise, is like exponentially more. I mean, actually, I don't really know much about Ava, like in terms of franchise, but I know Ava doesn't have like 9 movies and like almost 20 different TV shows.
But why does it have to?
Pretty fucking cool. I'm not attacking Ava. I'm defending Star Wars.
It's just a thing Star Wars has that Ava doesn't.
Yeah,
right?
if you like Star
The
Wars,
expansion.
there's more Star Wars.
Okay.
Like you'll run out of things with Ava in theory, but with Star Wars, like people like even like right now there are like the Mandalorian is in the middle of or it just ended like a second season, and a third season's confirmed, and it announced like 7 other shows for Disney Plus, and those are all live action, so that's like a cool thing.
So, how do you feel about the newer Star Wars stuff? Is it still good? Are you cynical about it getting worse under Disney, or how's it been?
I mean, the only thing I know about is the sequel series. I don't watch The Mandalorian or any of that stuff, but the first episode 7 was like okay. I kind of liked it. Everyone was saying at the time like it was just playing safe. They knew, like, the creators were like, okay, Star Wars has been shat on in the past, but let's like try and do a return to form sort of thing, and they did. It was a pretty good, okay, bad, terrible movie.
It was very unoffensive.
It was exactly like the first rebuild movie.
Yeah.
And that, except for the fact that it didn't copy it, it just copied the plot points beat for
It
beat.
copied A New Hope, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It was kind of like a weird
plot
fusion
thickens.
of New Hope and Empire.
So weird.
Yeah.
But
I was actually one of the very few people that I know of that actually really liked the episode 8.
I liked episode 8. because at least they did something new.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah,
pretty good. It was just
honestly.
weird. It was just really weird.
It didn't
But-
necessarily do it all well, but at least it did something new, and it was like mildly
Was that the one with Kylo Ren?
All three.
All of them have
Kylo Ren
Okay.
is in all three
Okay,
movies.
here's a parallel. Here's an Ava Star Wars parallel. Kylo Ren is Shinji because they're both whiny little bitch babies who need daddy's approval and cry and die. So
But,
same
wait,
show.
Kylo, well, never mind. No, I
The-
wasn't gonna-
almost. Except
Shinji doesn't die.
See, like characters in Star Wars
Dude,
don't
he
have
might as well have
existential-
died. He
like,
would have been better off
I
dying.
mean, he will eventually.
I mean, Anakin
Everyone else
did.
does.
Anakin's like the only
Eh.
one that actually has an existential emotional shit, and it like
Or-
changes
yeah.
over time.
Wait, the whole
So-
the whole curse of the Ava thing, where
Oh,
like,
that. Oh my!
Does
Yeah,
that-
go for it. Go for
does
it.
that like make you like low key immortal?
Hmm.
And was that a part of the original series in any way?
I like.
No.
I've seen. I was like watching YouTube videos, and like there was like somebody that was like, "Yeah, it's a reference to how, everyone just like has immortalized these characters, and they can't change because they're in fiction." And
Oh, that's actually an interesting take, whether it's true or not.
yeah, so, and I mean, it was like one line of fucking dialogue. They didn't like say anything more about it. But if you take it in that sense, it's kind of cool. Like, oh yeah, the reason Asuka hasn't changed is because like you can never really change Asuka because she's so ingrained into.
yeah, just the original character
franchise.
design is so iconic.
I mostly
You
asked that
can't
because
do anything to it.
I feel like it would almost make sense because it's like the world. If the world is over and there's only Shinji and Asuka left, the whole point of the series ending there is so that you can. It's just that's it. Like that is the end of the world. But Shinji would eventually die theoretically. But if there is this like curse of Ava thing where he doesn't die, then it almost makes it like particularly more like he's just going to forever drown in his suffering. It doesn't really matter either way because it's like you don't know if he's gonna die. So regardless, he's just gonna be sitting there. Even if he does die, he's gonna be sitting there for a fucking long time,
Yeah.
or he's probably just gonna kill himself. But
Or Asuka's
Um,
gonna kill him.
So the,
More like
bring it back to like a little bit of comparison between the works. I said this like yesterday whenever we were watching a rebuild movie, but like, so Star Wars is a very like stereotypical hero's journey thing, and like in like A New Hope, you have Luke who like his parents die and they get killed by stormtroopers, and he is like kind of sad about it for like a minute, and then immediately goes to fulfill his epic destiny, his hero's journey destiny, and is not very bothered by it. Well, like Ava itself is kind of like I mean, this gets thrown around a lot. Deconstruction of like the mecha genre, where you know the characters are actual have actual emotions. They have backstories that weigh on them in the present. Like they don't just shrug off their emotions. They actually have to like go through the reality of like, oh shit, there's angels destroying the fucking world. I'm scared. I don't want to do this, and yet I kind of have to, and yet I don't want to. That kind of thing. So, in that way, it's like you get the Star Wars being typical, like it's just like typical like Hollywood movie bullshit. But then both series over time, because they're so ingrained into the popular culture, become their worst selves in that they all become like Ava becomes more, oh yeah, it's cool like waifus, man, and mech battles. While Star Wars is like, oh yeah, it's just Star Wars, man. It's cool.
Baby Yoda, man. You got the
Baby Yoda, man.
merch.
And so at the end of the day, the franchises are similar in that they're because they've been corporatized.
But I don't think you can take away like it was always waifus as a part of it. Like that you can't say that wasn't that that wasn't
yeah.
part of the original appeal. That was always there.
It was
So
just
I-
like
so I
lasers
say- I
as part
say-
of the Star Wars appeal, but
Yeah.
it's become more homogenized and like you don't when people like reference stuff from Ava, they don't necessarily reference yeah, I'm gonna make some like really deep characters and like a nuanced story, like Ava did. No, they're like, oh, I'm gonna have like Ray, because Ray was cool.
Yeah, you're gonna have Rim.
Or yeah.
Dude, literally the same character. Mind blown. I just now saw it. Like their hair is the same color, and that's it. That's the whole.
So
No, the way they talk. No, the way they talk. They actually both
yeah,
have the same.
they're
like,
deadpan.
they're super deadpan. It's not just the hair. It's personality.
So yeah,
Um,
they were part of the original appeal. They've just been like taken out of context in the general consciousness of the word. Anyway, okay.
The perception of the series has been diluted by these insular factors.
I don't know. I feel like most people, when they think of Ava, if they've actually seen Ava, they sort of understand it for what it is. The exception is when people have not seen the thing and only know the characters, which was me for a long
Exactly.
time. For me, for a long time, I think of Ava and I think, oh, that blue-haired girl, she's a cool anime girl. I just thought the blue-haired girl was hot, and then I watched the show and realized Asuka was better. But definitely, like just seeing merch, I was like, ooh, that Ray girl, she's cool.
But on the black and white thing, that was something that had come up in Discord when this became a topic. And I was struck by that. Some of us rewatched A New Hope this week. And like the very first thing in the iconic Star Wars backstory floating through the screen that you read at the start of the movie, like the very first thing is the rebels versus the evil empire. And it's like, okay, black, white, good guys versus evil guys. Let's go. Let's blow up some
It's World War II.
Exactly, right? There was nothing, no shades of gray in World War II.
I mean, it's literally, it's called Star Wars.
And there's always a good guy in war, just like us in Vietnam.
I mean,
Just
that's
like
how,
America
that's how
in any
popular
war.
culture usually views it. Most people don't like study like
yeah.
German and Japanese history, Axis powers, or like examine their own countries.
No, it's whatever
involvement.
side you're on is the good guys, and then everybody else doesn't matter because they're
Although
not.
Japan
human,
did some
and they're-
pretty fucked things in World War II.
All right.
Never mind.
Before we turn this into a history class, I have some
Yeah.
some Ava Star Wars parallels I jotted down. See what you guys think of these.
Okay.
AT fields are the Force, kind of. Agree,
Kind of.
disagree?
I
Kind of.
can kind of see
Um,
that.
They
Yeah.
flow through all beings. They're kind of ambiguous and powerful. I get it.
You have to be a Jedi to use the Force. You have to be a giant robot with a dead person in it to use the AT fields, or an
Or-
angel.
or an angel, which
I don't-
are what?
I don't think.
Yo, Marowak, is he there?
Oh no, he's turned into a robot.
Oh, he's
Oh,
turned
no.
into a C4PO.
Oh dear.
He's
Alright.
going berserk.
Somebody shoot him a note that we can't hear him, and he can chime back in if it fixes
hear
in a
me?
minute.
Yes, we
Yeah,
can hear
okay,
you now.
yeah.
Yay, we
Read
did
everything
it.
you said. You didn't hear it. Oh no. Oh, he's gone again. All right. Second parallel. While we hope he revives. The Death Star is like an angel, you know, because it's like this, like the triangle angel. It's like a big shape, but you have to like go in the center to kill it.
It shoots giant laser beams.
Giant laser beams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the pyramid one.
Literally exact same thing.
It's the pyramid one with the lasers.
I mean,
yeah.
that you can basically just trace back to Star Wars, right?
Yeah, they literally were inspired by Star Wars, I'm sure. So yeah, so it's like
The Star
Okay.
Wars came first, and so Star Wars is the inspiration for Ava, right?
No, Star Wars. I mean, Star
Pretty sure
Wars
it's Gundam,
literally ripped
but,
off like so many other films.
Test.
Okay,
Really,
yeah,
Star
you
Wars
good
is
now.
just Hidden Fortress.
try again, Marowak. I think we got you now.
So really, it all comes back, or yeah, Hidden Fortress. It really just comes back to Japan.
Hey,
Uh,
cash money.
There you go. They're both Japanese franchises. Boom. We did
But
it.
the argument of like, something ripped off something, that's not really.
it's so silly because I don't know. Like
Oh, Japan.
I think
is the
Star Wars is
everything good in this world. Everything sugoi.
I really don't understand that.
Kurosawa
Even as the
based.
meme, even as the meme, I just don't understand that sort of. It's just like I
The
don't know.
meme is
All
that
right,
it's
all right,
not
Alex. What are
true.
your parallels?
Okay, so
Yeah.
the only other like probably plausible one is that the Darth Vader round table with all of his dudes, and they're like he like has to strangle that guy with the Force, and they're like, oh shit, the Force is real. We better not get strangled. I kind of got the vibes from that, similar kind of vibes as I got to the SEAL Illuminati people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They
So-
even look the same, like Gendo's second in command, skinny old guy, like the guy that got strangled. kinda looked
Oh
like him.
yeah.
I noticed that too. Actually, I was thinking that.
Yeah, the
as
guy is
well.
like, "Oh, this Death Star is fully operational." He does look a lot like
Grand Moff Tarkin.
It's not
I don't
looking
know
good for
these
those of you on the
characters'
Ava
names.
side. Ava's looking like a straight ripoff. The more we get into it.
Yeah.
Nah.
The other stuff I had jotted down was like trying to compare stuff. I have Luke is the opposite of Shinji. C-3PO is Shinji.
Luke's a Chad, bro. He just-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Luke is like, oh, my parents are dead. Oh man,
Let's
go
fucking
kill
go
the
in.
bad
Let's
guy."
just go. Like
And
he's like
C-3PO
your
is like, oh no,
stereotypical
oh
shonen.
god,
he,
it's all over.
he sees like, oh shit, a hot girl in a hologram. Time to go.
Yeah,
fucking-
yeah.
Oh
He's
my
like your
God, sister in a
stereotypical
hologram?
hero.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Also
bro.
Japanese.
Incest, Japanese.
oh my
There wasn't
God.
even incest in Ava. Star Wars is literally more Japanese than Ava.
Wait, which baby came out first? Is it Imoto or Ane? Like, is it like which way is it? Which way is Luke? What direction does he go?
Oh, that's a good question.
Luke was
I don't
born
know.
second.
Oh,
That whole scene is literally at the end of Revenge of the Sith, where the twins are born.
yeah.
Which weird thing.
Yeah,
you
that
include
guy
in your
is
action
exactly the
sci-fi movie,
same.
but
That's exactly the same as the Ava dude. You're right.
dude, somebody find a picture of the Ava dude. I don't remember his name.
Oh, me neither.
Don't Luke and Leia like tongue kiss before they know?
They kiss. I don't
Pretty
think
sure
Fucked up,
do.
dude.
they like.
They-
Do
Yeah,
they?
No,
they
she
do
like angry, like
before.
piss off Han Solo, kisses Luke just to trigger him because she's a tsundere, and
Yeah,
so is he.
Tsundere, Asuka.
Dude, Star Wars invented tsunderes.
Yes, obviously. It was both Han Solo and Leia. They're both tsundere, not just one.
It's not like I like you or anything, you scruffy-looking nerve herder, baka.
It's not like I like you or anything, you stupid, annoying, bitchy woman. That it's the same thing. That both of them are like the.
Dude, look at the pictures of the Star Wars guy and the Ava guy.
They're
Literally
exactly the
same
same.
guy.
Yeah, it's
Literally.
like.
Crossover confirmed. Ava and Star Wars are the same universe.
Dude, the crossover episode, you can be like Darth Vader's gonna be walking in and the music's gonna be like dun 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 dun.
In the rebuild, well, yeah, wasn't the rebuild? I don't know. No, it wasn't.
No, Darth Vader was not in the rebuild.
That was Shin. No, the rebuild music sounds like Shin Godzilla, not Star Wars. That was it.
Shin Gojira.
Dude, three-way crossover.
But yeah.
Godzilla and Evangelion actually have crossover stuff.
Why?
They have a ride
Why
at the
not?
Disney park, right?
Ano made a
Yeah.
fucking Godzilla film, yeah.
Isn't it Shin Godzilla?
Yeah.
Wasn't a Godzilla anime like a new one aired or announced in the last couple years at some point?
Well,
I
didn't
think it was
Anno
a
do
TV
like
show.
regular movie work, not just like anime? He didn't need to write
Yeah.
like regular
Yeah.
stuff.
Whatever.
What annoy me?
Imagine watching not anime, aka.
Imagine real people.
Dude,
That
actors,
is a point
ew.
to Evangelion, by the way. Real people are gay and gross. Evangelion, hot girls. Even the
don't
guys,
age.
even the ugly men in Evangelion are more attractive than are literally leaps beyond.
No, these guys look about the
Inherently.
same.
How about Leia though? Bro.
Nah.
I was never.
Leia
I was
versus
never into Leia, to
Shinji's
be fair.
dad. Let's be
Although
real here.
Natalie Portman's pretty hot. And, like,
Would you rather
Oh, yeah.
date Kawaru or Leia? Kawaru.
I'm gonna go with Leia over Kawaru.
I think I
Close, though.
would
Gay.
probably have to agree.
I
Dude,
fuck
literally-
that.
literally
I'll
gay.
stick a bitch.
I mean, it's like, I mean, it doesn't compare to Asuka for sure. Asuka beats everyone.
I'm not
in
on the
Star
Asuka
Wars, but
train.
it's-
Misato like god tier. Asuka, don't talk to me, you annoying bitch tier.
I don't know, dude. Freaking Star Wars Episode 6, Slave Leia chained up to Jabba the Hutt.
Dude, there's a Funko Pop of it. Let me repost.
Yes.
But I was also never, I was not a huge fan of Leia ever. I don't know.
Is Leia best girl in Star Wars?
Nah, it's gotta be.
Well, seeing
Natalie
how there's 4 to
Portman.
choose from in the entire franchise.
Wait, there's probably some side character I'm forgetting that I like better, but like the first thing that comes to mind is Natalie Portman.
I don't know who
um,
Natalie Portman is or who she played. So
Oh, what's her
She was
face?
Padme.
Ahsoka
From the prequels.
Clone Wars.
Oh,
I-
Ahsoka. That's what I meant to say. Not Asuka. I meant to say Ahsoka.
She's also like,
Ahsoka
super
versus
under-
Asuka. Go.
Super fucking underage.
One's got orange skin. That means she's
One has
fucking
2
hot.
lightsabers.
Yeah, I remember.
Needs
I
to
like.
be
Yeah,
more.
yeah. I liked that picture. Yeah, with the ripped stomach. Yeah, I liked that when I was when I was like 12. That was the.
Lol. But yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
episode 2. She actually like killed a giant dog
Yeah,
alien monster thing. Like
that's the stuff.
she could hold her own in a fight without any military training or like Jedi powers.
Dude, is that Bjork?
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of the episode 1 Queen Amidala get up. That's some weird shit.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
little goofy, but
Yeah,
Just whack.
but the Clone Wars randomly get the stomach ripped off. That's passable. That's
well, yeah, of course. That's
Bum, 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 bam, 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 bam.
okay. Do we want to go there with the music? Which franchise has better music?
I might.
Probably Star Wars, right?
Yeah, maybe I might go Star Wars here. This is like Ava has like
Eva doesn't use music. The rebuilds are an exception,
Literally.
but like the original series, I don't know.
wait, you mean the soundtracks, like the background
the
music while stuff
soundtrack.
is
Yeah,
happening,
this-
not like
yeah.
the.
Not like-
what's it
well, there
called?
is the iconic last scene of episode 26, and it's got a sick remix song, piano version, and it's really good. But
Dude, I consider both the soundtracks to the series and ArcadeNOVA to be like masterworks. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
there's like
What's it-
I'm like hit or miss because like some of the key songs, like the doom 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 doom, like that song, I like don't care. But like there's some specific slower remix versions that are played only in the show that are not like in the main soundtrack, and you have to really hard to find. There's some
Yeah.
specific tracks I really like, but overall, I'm not like, and like also like the do 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 whatever that one is. Like I also don't care. I also
That one.
yeah, that one. Yeah,
Dude,
I don't
love
really
that so
care.
much.
Yeah.
And when Misato's like, ah, and she has like the beer, dude, that's the best.
Yeah, I don't care about that song.
Still is
So, like,
any of
most-
it more iconic than the lightsaber
No, most-
fight theme from Star Wars Episode 1 when Darth
I
Maul
don't
pulls out
care
that
about
that
double.
one's good, but there's
Iconicness.
that's not even my
Oh,
favorite. But there's like a billion Star Wars songs I like more. So yeah, Star Wars has to win for music for me, just because there's so many more songs that I like. Although I do like a lot of Ava's songs. Star Wars just has, I like them equally as much, and there's more of them. So that's.
You can't win against the power of John Williams.
Has anyone explored? Is there like Ava character songs or CDs with extra audio to the show?
Yeah, I tried really hard to find just this one track, and I don't have it on my laptop right now, but I have it on my phone. So yeah, but I was trying to link it them, but it's hard to play it while we're talking. But
Dude, semi unrelated, just want to, dude, you got Serial Experiments Lane has a fucking sick ass like electronic remix album. I forget what it's called, but that shit's
Wait,
fucking
really?
Tina.
Yo, link me that actually.
You got it, dog.
I love Lane's like soundtrack. Well, mostly that opening song. I love that shit.
yeah, the opening is pretty good. I like that.
But
So
I don't know,
between
what else?
the esoteric, emotional, subjective Evangelion appeal versus the hero's journey, good versus evil, black and white Star Wars appeal. Does anyone have any
Also, just
opinions
like
on
big world building appeal for Star Wars too. Just massive universe. I think it's a well thought out. Like the Force is a really
Yeah.
cool system. The idea of the Jedi is just a really cool thing. The Jedi as an idea is fucking cool. Like the Jedi and the Sith. The ideas of it does explore as far as like we I think we're giving credit Star Wars a little not enough credit for like human emotional stuff because it does explore like quote unquote how people go evil or whatever. But like and that is actually a good look at some like motivations that can make people do things that are seen as evil.
Yeah.
That I think it does explore that in a good way. It takes a less personal approach where it's like Ava is very much the person in the experience of the horrible thing, where you do
Yes,
get a little
yeah,
bit of that.
Like Star Wars is on like a macro scale a lot of the time.
Okay, but the question I was gonna pose is comparing the like hero's journey, good versus evil, versus the subjective, emotional type stuff. Does anyone have an opinion on is one like your preference over the other pretty clearly? Or do you think they're both good and you want some media with both, or is there a clear winner for anybody?
I
Both.
mean, I stated earlier that my opinion obviously leaned towards the emotional hyper relate thing. I mean, I do see value in the other thing, but to me that it's like inherently more connectable. I don't know.
I don't know. There are things that do both, and I like things that do both. I can even look at like my favorite shows, and it's like there's examples of both. So yeah.
I like Ava's approach better generally. Like I feel like it makes it a lot more unique in the grand scheme of media. Cause like the hero's journey, like macro, like good versus evil, even if it has like reasoning for like both sides, is done so many times, like in so many different movies. Well, Ava's is also done in some movies, but it's like a lot rarer. I feel to have
And to do
that
it
kind of
well.
thing.
I
And to do it
think it's
well.
probably harder to do well because it's less formulaic or something like that. I don't know.
I
It's
think
less,
the problem for me with Ava's was always when I watched Ava for the first time, I was like 28, so I could absolutely not relate to these teenage characters at all. Like I'm just like maybe if I was 14 too,
dude, but you
I'd
can
totally
relate to
be like, oh
Kaji.
my gosh, I totally get it. But
I don't know. I don't think I don't see those experiences rooted in age. I'd super relate that nothing changed. I mean, I watched when I was maybe 23, but like I didn't. I related most to Shinji, not to the other characters. So it's like I don't think it's super rooted in age. I mean, but a lot of people have said it is, so it might be. Maybe I'm an exception when I still find it super easy to relate to the character, regardless of the fact that he's like a middle schooler.
yeah, I'm sure it's different for everyone, but that's just the general feeling I got. Was I'm just like Shinji just like having a depressive episode. I'm like,
just get in the robot,
Yeah,
kid.
just-
Just do
yeah,
your
just-
fucking job. We're trying to
like-
run a society here.
the world is ending and you can help out.
Yeah, but
or-
the fact that you don't understand that it
Let
doesn't
it
fucking
die.
matter that the world is ending and it's you, like
well,
it
he
doesn't
didn't
matter.
know that
That's
he
the
wasn't
point. The
saving
point is
the
everything
world.
else doesn't matter. like the world.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's what he's
matter
saying.
from-
He doesn't relate to.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the thing. Is like Star Wars is more just like popcorn relatable, and Evangelion is more specific.
I don't think Star Wars is relatable, really. It's just like a cool story.
Enjoyable. I don't know.
I mean, you're like,
Martin-
yeah, dude, fuck Darth Vader. He sucks.
Yeah,
I think
anyone.
Martin made a good point that like the black and white good versus evil does kind of set you up well to explore how people go evil, which they do pretty well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good.
Episode 3 in particular, I could wonder how many parallels are like between, say, like, oh, Anakin turns to the dark side and becomes a Sith and just kills a bunch of people versus
And
like,
you have a good redemption at the end too, where he like realizes like maybe this wasn't worth it. Maybe he
maybe
takes back
I'm
at the very end.
asshole.
Well, it's like, I thought it was like it was done in a really good way. Like, because I feel like he was sort of holding off. Well, maybe I can still bring Luke with me and we can just be this together. And then he realizes like it's not going to happen. And then he realizes, what does he really care about? He cares more about, you know, his son than he cares about continuing everything he had done up to that point. And maybe it's like an homage to his wife that died that he wants to, you don't really know, but there's a lot there. And it's, so, I mean, I think we're giving Star Wars not enough credit on the emotional spectrum, but it's obviously not doing the same thing that Ava's doing at all. But it does still have those elements. It's just more in a, again, like a macro scale than like a first person perspective of experiencing the person within the motions. It's more like experiencing how this person changed, and it was emotional things influencing how they changed. Whereas Ava is like, you are experiencing the character's feelings kind of firsthand.
When you mentioned the wife dying thing, that was Darth Vader, right? Anakin, he went evil after his love interest died, right?
No,
I'm
he
not
went
like-
evil and
no.
then killed his love interest.
Well, he had a vision where she was going to die, and he was basically manipulated by like the Sith Lord, who sort of knew that he was worried that his wife could die, and he was saying that he could save, like hinting that, oh, there was a powerful Sith that could save people from dying, and so he used that to manipulate him to do things because he was desperate.
Vader's literally Gendo.
It was sort of like a monkey paw
kinda.
thing where Darth Vader was told, like, if you get more power, then you can save your wife, but in cost of getting that power, it kind of cost his wife.
Yeah.
Literally Gendo.
Is Star Wars like
Kind
a
of.
metaphor for how to indoctrinate spree killers? Because that's kind of what happened there.
It's more of a manual than a metaphor.
So take notes.
Compare America school shootings, Japan school shootings, Star Wars country, Evangelion country. It's
More
all
like school stabbings, am I right?
we
I
do
don't know
need to
enough
catch
about
up
it.
on school stabbings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot harder to get a gun in Japan.
Nah, that's not irrelevant. It's all Star Wars, dude.
It's all about Star Wars versus Ava. That's the true defining factor that influences the society's choices. It's only Star Wars versus Ava.
They just watch the prequels and get so mad.
Yeah.
Pod racing, drunk driver crashes. It's all
Yeah.
They see like the end of Ava, like Shinji choking Asuka, and they're like, I must do that.
Yeah, and choking is popular in sex. I read on the internet in America.
I've heard
Fucked
of
up,
that.
man. Look at what Star Wars did to our children.
Yeah, because Anakin chokes out his wife with force choke.
And now I choke out my wife.
Based. Okay.
Sick.
Wait, that's a common
No.
feature. You have Shinji who chokes out Asuka, and Anakin chokes out Padme.
Literally a ripoff.
Shinji
wait,
is
when
Anakin.
did the-
They're both little
when did
whinies
the
who love
Star
joking
Warses come
people.
out? The new
Gendy
Star
to-
Warses.
Oh, the new Star Wars? I don't.
Episode 1, 2, 3. Before
Oh.
or after Ava?
Prequels.
Prequels.
That would have been like
Um,
1999 through 2004 or so.
Post Ava. Okay, so Ava copied Star Wars, and then Star Wars copied Ava, and they continue to feed into each other.
It all returns to nothing.
Oh yeah, but actually,
Keeps tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down.
Gendy Tarkovsky's Clone Wars better than everything else we discussed. I'm just saying. It's
That
fucking
one's
genius.
anime,
Oh,
right?
yes.
It's just
No, it's not an anime.
it's a
but, It
cartoon.
is fucking legit awesome.
I mean, we could just call anything animated an anime. Let's just do that.
Japanese
We get, like,
colloquialism.
You can,
Mickey Mouse is an anime. Doesn't matter. Whatever.
Sure.
It's just-
I mean,
Canonically true.
you literally only use the term anime to specifically
Talk
like
about Mickey Mouse.
to talk about Japanese animation usually, but in theory,
I know,
yes.
I know. I mean, I know. I'm just saying because
Yeah,
it's like you can make the small distinction where it's like, okay, we're gonna have this shared idea that we usually know what we're talking about when we say anime. Like putting hard boundaries on it makes it complicated, but if you don't put hard boundaries on it, you generally know what people are talking about.
We're getting pretty.
But once you get pedantic at all, like if you're gonna get pedantic at all, I'll go in the opposite direction and say everything's anime because that's easier than trying to be pedantic about the boundaries.
Go for it.
So it's either there's two
Anime.
options. Either don't be pedantic and we'll use the general understanding, or if you're pedantic and we just say anything anime is anime because fuck it.
Okay,
Like,
but
it's too hard.
tell me about Clone Wars because I've only heard good things, but I haven't seen it.
Same.
So you know how in episode 2 of Star Wars they're like, shit, bro, Clone Wars, and then in season 3, and no, it's not in episode 3 they end the Clone Wars. There's this huge vacuous, huge like great amount of time between the movies that is ripe for continued canon.
So you mean to tell me they had a Star War?
They had endless war, literally. Clones
In the
versus
stars.
droids.
I see.
Because they can both ! Revive if you're a clone or a droid.
And it's all so some of the most like the best work. Well, like there's like one specific director that like did like most of the animated Clone Wars series. But then there's also Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars is like one season. It's like only a couple episodes. It's 3 seasons.
It's actually
But
25 episodes.
But they're pretty short.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's like it's cool because Genndy Tartakovsky is the best at like animating action, and it's the first canonical General Grievous appearance.
Any Ava parallels or ripoffs besides good animation, which Ava invented?
Well, for the Clone Wars, it's just like they just like took the Star Wars universe and it was like, okay, I'm just gonna do sick action the entire series, and they did. But
not gonna lie,
I mean,
I would watch
the whole
Genndy
show is
Tartakovsky's
huge.
Evangelion remake.
I would too. It'd be sick.
That would be the coolest thing ever made.
Genndy.
I feel like Ava doesn't like thrive too much on action. End of Ava had good action, but like,
well,
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like
Definitely not the show.
Gendy's also good at like portraying. Like he uses a lot of Japanese cinema techniques to have like periods of like to portray emotion, not through dialogue but just through good visuals, which is something that original Ava did a lot.
Like Sangatsu.
Tokyo. If you've seen Tokyo Story, they do that shit all the fucking time.
Yeah.
What
I know,
about
like,
Sangatsu no Lion? That's
I've not
the
seen
visuals that make you feel stuff that's really reflects like the general feel of what the characters are feeling and stuff. Definitely does that purely visually, like with almost no dialogue in a lot of spaces.
But this is all kind of, I guess, a little bit off topic. But
yeah,
the general point being, Star
That-
Wars.
I don't know, that Mario one's pretty good at it.
Akira slide.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else left. Does that?
Yeah.
Maybe, probably not. I'm all out of milk.
I
dear.
feel like we have
No more
returned
blue
to
milk.
nothing.
We've
Yep.
milked this topic. Fantastic. Before we go, would we like to read comments from our last couple videos?
If
If we have any, fire them up.
There's
my
a
gosh.
comment.
I
Really?
believe
Anyone-
there just might be.
Mail time.
Did we get more people attacking me on the Made in Abyss?
We just got a letter.
We do have Made in Abyss comments. Do you
Let's
want me to
go.
go into that?
Read
Or,
them.
like-
Hit me.
Okay. So from Philip Pejinovic says, I understand that Nanachi also had in mind that she would stay if he let them go into the 6th layer, and that's why she told Reg to calm down when they first find Bonderwood.
Bondrude. Yeah, that was a question
Bondrude.
I posed in that episode. Was like when they show up to Edo Front, like, or why are they not freaked out when they see the evil dude? And so Philip has the knowledge bomb. Thank you, Philip. Please
Sick.
subscribe.
Yeah, most of the comments are just like people that actually know about the series more than me, fucking correcting me for saying
You
something
see,
stupid.
we provided the forum. We gave the people the place where they can learn the truth. It's all thanks to us.
True.
Yeah, that's we all they needed was the invitation to share their opinions with us, and they did. And our other comment since last episode on our Krampus episode, Ira Salarius says, "I love Krampus."
Dude, that's my best friend.
Yeah.
Ira.
To which that friggin' guy replied, "Lol, me too."
Let's go.
Fantastic. That was
Dude, that's my epic emo friend, Ira.
well. Hopefully he'll come and comment on every single one of the rest of our videos because we need more subs and engagement, please.
This is democracy at work, fellas.
I love democracy.
Comments.
And that's a wrap.
If you want us to read your comments, just leave a comment on any one of our videos, and eventually we'll get around to it on an episode.
We should do a straw poll
About what?
about which one's better, Star Wars or Ava.
Do we have votes? Does anyone have like an actual opinion on that? Just.
I mean, I'll vote Ava,
clarity,
but like, I don't want to. I'm like the opposite of Ryan. I feel like Ryan just hates Star Wars so much. I want to like go against Ryan just because of how
Yeah.
much he hates Star Wars.
A little
Like, but even though I like Ava more, I want to go against Ryan and just say vote Star Wars, even though I like Ava more, just because of how much he seems to hate Star Wars. That's
I'm pretty lukewarm on both of them, but Ava is anime, so that's how I break the tie.
Guys, I don't actually hate Star Wars.
I
Shit.
literally, I haven't even watched Ava, and I'm on Ava's side.
Let's go. Big W for Japan. That's democracy at work. That's the what's it called? The marketplace of ideas winning out in the end.
All right.
it looks like Ava won our vote.
Dang.
Sick.
I will stand
right.
fast as our sole defender of Star Wars.
There we go. We did it. We proved which one was better, and only one of us is wrong. So.
Star Wars universe better. Star Wars Ava, the 24 or 25
Better.
episode anime, fucking best shit. So
Yeah,
obviously
I'll go with
better.
that. Yeah, Star Wars really sick
I'll
universe.
tell you what, we'll call it a
expanded
tie. How about that?
No.
No, I think I
Just
screwed our
lose
group.
and say
Ava
it's a
won.
tie.
Uh,
All right, that's a wrap.
I kind of
Bye,
feel bad
everybody.
for Star Wars
Alright,
though.
later.
Whatever.
Yeah.
If only it was an anime. If only it was
So-
made by Hideaki Anno.
Someday we can only hope. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.